Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Tolkien Collector's Guide's Hoarded Scrolls. I'm Mr. Underhill, and today I'll be discussing an introduction to Houghton Mifflin and Ballantine First U.S. editions from 1977 through 1998 of the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christopher Tolkien, with some assistance from Guy Gavriel Kay. It does not cover second editions from 1999 through the present, where the text was reset and part of Carpenter's Letter 131 was added, or Easton Press editions. The Silmarillion was first published on September 15, 1977, and was a huge undertaking by the publishers to meet the expected demand for the book. Here in the United States, Houghton Mifflin printed hundreds of thousands of copies for the expected demand. There were, of course, uncorrected proofs. Unlike George Allen and Unwin, Houghton Mifflin did tend to produce and keep around more proofs of their publications, so these are easier to come by than their UK counterparts. Pictured are a few photos borrowed from Urulókë of a first U.S. uncorrected proof. The collector who took these photos is unknown at this time. Pre-publication uncorrected proof copies, according to records seen at Houghton Mifflin, these were used and distributed as a quality control check as the first volumes were being printed and prepared for publication. Most copies are issued in a tan-colored, unillustrated card wrapper that bears a strong resemblance to the title page of the published copies with the Houghton Mifflin logo and ISBN numbers. The first edition hardback is a hardcover in a dust jacket, cover illustration by J.R.R. Tolkien, colored by H.E. Reddit, published on September 15, 1977. The first printing was printed in August of 1977 with 325,000 copies printed. There were 12 print runs total from August through November, and the first 4 printings were completed before publication. Multiple printers were used for the first printing. There are 2 variants. Variant number 1 on page 229 shows a loss of text on the right edge of the type block. Variant number 2, page 229, is undamaged. All first printings have a misprint on page 3. Father Giles is seen as opposed to Farmer Giles. This was corrected for the second. Also, these were issued as a book club edition, and the book club edition can be distinguished from the trade edition by having one or more of the following: a blind stamp on the back board, no price on the inside jacket flap, and or no ISBN number on the jacket back cover. There was also a second book club edition, first issued in 1978. These were smaller, but they were also a hardcover in a dust jacket with the same cover illustration by J.R.R. Tolkien, colored by H.E. Reddit. They did not have any fold-out maps, as the maps were printed on the end papers. They were a smaller size, and they had no red top stain. There were 5 printings from 1978 through 1986. Also, it has a standard book club copyright page, and no number line and no ISBN number on the back cover. Some of the printings have a gutter code, and some do not. There were 3 mass-market paperback editions issued by Ballantine from 1979, 1982, and 1984. The 1979 first U.S. paperback edition has the same cover as the first edition hardback, trade, and the book club edition. It's a cover illustration by J.R.R. Tolkien, colored by H.E. Reddit. The 1979 first print was not reprinted. The 1982 and 1984 editions have the same cover illustration by Darrell K. Sweet. The only difference between the 82 prints 2 through 5 and the 84 prints 6 onwards is the changing of the text on the cover from black to white. There was a permabound edition issued in the 1980s by Covercraft. These were printed for schools and libraries. It's unclear how many were printed at this time. There were 2 trade paperback editions, one printed in 1983 and a second printing in 1991 by Houghton Mifflin. The 1983 first trade paperback U.S. edition has a cover design that is based on the artwork of J.R.R. Tolkien. It has not been reprinted. With the 1991 second print through at least the 13th print, the cover art was completely changed with different artwork by Tolkien used, with Tolkien's bird design taking the place of the heraldic device on the 1983 print. In 1998, there was an illustrated edition issued by Houghton Mifflin as a hardback in a dust jacket. It was illustrated by Ted Naismith, and it was printed in October 1998, and it was not reprinted. The Realms of the Noldor and the Sindar map is located on the last integral page. The map of Beleriand and the lands to the north are colored by H.E. Reddit and appears on both end papers. It also includes 20 color illustrations by Ted Naismith. In the summer of 1987, Christopher Tolkien traveled to Wisconsin in the United States, as he was the guest of honor at the Myth-Poets Society convention at Marquette University that year. He did sign many items that participants brought to the convention, and this was the only time that Christopher was in the US to sign any Houghton Mifflin Tolkien books. Conclusions that can be drawn. US Silmarillions are very easy to collect, as many were printed and dealers struggled to sell them in the early years after publication. It's actually more difficult to find the trade paperbacks and the book club editions, as fewer of these were printed. For more information on US First Edition Silmarillions, I would suggest you consult the J.R.R. Tolkien Descriptive Bibliography by Wayne Hammond or our member Bearlock's site, tolkienbooks.us.